Doing what a machine can never do.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
This is DIY Detail. Today we're going to dive into washing the car, but not just the outside like a car wash does. No, we're going to go into the door jambs, the engine, the trunk jam, the wheels, the barrels, everything. A deep dive into actually detailing, not just washing the car.
Driving through a car wash, you might call it the scratch pass. You might be a purist and you're gonna say, they're gonna mess my car up, so I'm gonna hand wash it. You may not care about general scratches. You may just want clean paint.
Yes.
In that case, there's still a reason to hire a detailer. There's still a reason to be a detailer because there's spots that these big corporate machines can't get to. We're gonna show them what a little hard work, elbow grease, and know-how can accomplish.
Or Nick could just be overthinking it.
All right, let's clean a car,
Now,
shall we?
you'll notice the one wheel looks really, really clean. That's because we did a video just on that wheel, a deep dive into wheel cleaning. There'll be a link down below. Now, one of the things, we want to start pre-treating this. And by pre-treating, I'm gonna get this door jamb here. We have a lot of dust and dirt built up in the door jamb. We're gonna use all clean to get there.
How about some iron remover on the wheel face, Ivan?
You sure can, sir.
All right, so DIY Detail iron remover here. We're gonna pre-treat this before the all clean on the wheel. Don't forget to get in the barrels. I like to use a lot, but this is the most expensive product in most people's lines, so you don't always have to do this, but we're getting deeply in all the nooks and crannies. That includes the barrels, wheel faces. We're doing this right, folks.
The trunk jam, often neglected. Again, bit of all clean. Now the reason I'm using all clean here is we're going to use a different way of agitating it. Now this vehicle has sat for a long time and you can see all the dust being crusted in areas that normally, if you're washing the car on a regular basis, that's not going to happen. So I'm going to help it along a little bit just with a touch of all clean there. Of course, the fuel filler area. Now, if you have one of those new fuel fillers that you don't have to take the cap off, don't do this. Door jamb once again. We'll let that dwell. Now the wheels, Nick has done a great job with the iron remover. Let's add our friend All Clean to the mix. The wheel wells while we're here. Like I mentioned, this vehicle has sat for a long time.
Ivan,
Go with that.
I don't want to intimidate folks. He's got this fancy foamer and you may not have the equipment. It's an IK Foam Pro 12. It's an investment, but you'll use it a lot. So highly recommend it if you're a professional detailer or even an enthusiast at home. We also sell All Clean 15-to-1 ready to use. So yes, foaming is a great way of using All Clean, Ivan, but when could spraying also be as effective or just very effective?
Well, like on this cowl here, this is an easy way to get in there.
You say cowl like people know what that is.
That's the lower part of the windshield.
It's the trim area, the plastic under the windshield. We've been using a lot of this, Ivan. But we still have some left in the bottle. Is that enough?
Yeah, more than enough.
Okay, so then I'm gonna spray a few more times once I hit enough. That's my way. Pre-treating a little bit got on the paint, is that a big deal?
No, that's fine.
Sometimes we pre-treat lowers with All Clean if it's really nasty and dirty.
Again, this wheel we've already cleaned, but I'll refoam it. We're gonna foam the whole vehicle, and when I get back to the front, we'll be foaming an area that we don't normally foam.
Normally we encourage folks, clean your engine bay before the body because, let's be honest, you're gonna spray all through here, get crud on the body, and then you have to wash that again. There's also the do it while you're washing the car method.
Right, do it while you're washing the car, and this doesn't have a lot of grease, doesn't have a lot of grime, it's just a lot of accumulated dust. So the incredible suds will do a great job here.
Ivan, if we're gonna talk poorly of the car wash, which we don't like to talk poorly of anyone, but thinking a car wash is gonna miss spots, you missed kind of a spot here on the front bumper. So I'm glad
That's why
you're not done yet.
No, that's why I was mixing up more foam, because I ran out of foam, Nick. I like to foam engines from different angles. That way we get the foam in everywhere.
Anything to worry about when foaming down an engine bay? That seems a little intimidating.
A lot of people are afraid of cleaning their engines when they shouldn't be. As you're driving down the road, there's this big gaping hole at the front. If you're driving through the rain, that rain is going through that hole, through your radiator, and everywhere on your engine. It's designed to get wet. Now, back in the 50s and 60s, the wiring harnesses weren't what they are today. Today's wiring harnesses are all waterproof. It's not a big concern. You can see in the foam here all the dirt that it's lifting up. You don't really need harsh chemicals 99% of the time. And unless you have an oil leak, it's just dust that's under here. And you can see how clean it got here. Let me move the dirt around and you'll see how easily it cleans up. So no agitation other than what the pressure washer did. We have a nice clean engine bay. Now this back wheel, we can see there was a little bit of accumulation of dirt here by what's coming off of it. So the washing was not for nothing. It needed it.
We've foamed, we've rinsed, we've foamed. Ivan, you've done a great job, but quite frankly, I don't think we're done.
No, the contact wash is the important part of the wash. The foam, the rinse, the foam is to provide safety to the wash, but the actual wash happens when you put brush or mitt to paint. Starting with the wheels, letting the incredible suds dwell as long as possible on the surface. Obviously, we have a lot of car enthusiasts watching this channel. Classic Mopar or modern Mopar? Would you rather a 72 Challenger or a 2020 Challenger? And while we're doing the wheels, this is a great time to subscribe. Leave us a comment, maybe a like, even hype the video. Those are all things you can do to help us. Nick, I noticed you had the perfectly safe wash brush in your bucket. So I'll take the incredible mitt.
Don't need to do the roof, Ivan, I've got you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
One of the joys of the perfectly safe wash brush is I can reach a lot further than my arm, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I notice you've got a lot of pressure on the brush there, Nick.
I'm doing no pressure at all. We did a lot of cleaning already, haven't we?
We have.
Because the perfectly safe brush is a very gentle wash media. It's very safe. The foam rinse foam does such a big, heavy lift for us in terms of cleaning. Can you explain what already has been done before we even do the contact wash here?
Well, the grit has been removed, and that's the key component to not scratching your paint, so not have any grit on it. Next, the second application and the dwelling that we allowed it to do while we clean the wheels, that helps break down that traffic film so it easily comes off the surface without any pressure on our wash media.
I just have the weight of the brush, I mean the head.
Yep.
That's the only pressure being put on here. I'm not doing anything more than that. And I'm kind of relaxing. You could kind of go, okay, I'm trying to get this job done fast, right? You could do this. You're detailing for money out there. You got to be profitable. I could be a little fast. I'm relaxed. I'm enjoying myself. Is this brush only for a professional detailer?
No, everyone can use it. When you get to be my age and your back is a little sore and a little stiff, the brush is actually a lot of fun. Bending over becomes easier because you don't have to bend over. The brush reaches for you.
Yeah, the brush does the work for you.
Now, Nick, you know you can shorten up the handle.
You know, I like to make things complicated and difficult.
It's a skill of yours.
So when do you shorten the handle versus lengthen it, Ivan? When common sense dictates?
What you were doing at the back there, you have the handle way up in the air. It's so easy to adjust.
The cool thing about the Perfectly Safe brush, Ivan, is that the threads here will fit any broom thread or mop that you have at home.
Yep.
Or you can use a telescoping pole like this.
Now, if you want your wheel and body brush, as the name implies, is not just for your wheels, it's also for the body. It's a very similar bristle to the brush that Nick has there. And this trunk jam, actually it's rather clean. I was gonna say I might need to brush it, but looking at it, no need to brush.
Well, you were pretty thorough on the front end.
Yeah, once this is rinsed out, we'll be good to go.
There's a lot of ways to do this, Ivan. Sometimes it's fun to just play with your brushes.
Yeah.
We pre-treated this with All Clean, the cowl, and the Perfectly Safe brush was a little large for this. A microfiber towel could work, or our incredible wash mitt, but I'm just getting in there, making sure I agitate where we pre-sprayed. Again, agitation is a principle of cleaning. It's a pillar. So too is dwell time. So too is the chemical you use. And of course, we don't really mess around with it, but temperature is also a big one. So if you have hot water versus cold water, right? That can also impact your ability to affect the cleaning process. But every once in a while, Ivan doesn't love the little brushes, but every once in a while, they're fun to use. Not necessary, but fun, right?
Right, and sometimes there is a need for them. Depends on what you're doing, but yes, there are areas that can benefit from that.
I know Ivan probably already got into here, but this is a particularly unique vehicle where a little precision on these spots actually makes sense. Ivan says he was here already, but enjoy extra steps and extra time. Man versus machine. We're gonna show how we don't always get it right as man, but we're capable of deep cleaning. I don't know. People clean the wiper blade enough? That's my question.
Actually, no.
They should. Can things accumulate on the blade of your wiper?
Definitely. On your wiper blade, you get all that traffic film that you have accumulated on the window. As you start using the wiper, where does it go? Onto the wiper blade.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
I've taken time to squeegee the floor. I had an excessive amount of soap. I tried the glug method and it's fun. But at the same time, this excessive amount of soap is a slip risk. So get it off the surface before putting more water, because we're gonna rinse the vehicle off one last time.
Did I just hear Ivan admit to glug?
Yes. I want to experience it, see if it was actually worth the effort. No, I rather measure my soap. And in taking that extra time to do the floor, you'll notice that the soap actually dried on the surface. It's not a concern. Incredible solids can dry on the surface, not a big deal. It'll reactivate as soon as the water hits it. Nick, is today an envy or quick beads kind of day?
Today's an envy day, and I'm going to tell you why. We've rinsed a lot.
Yeah.
I think in the real world, people love using quick beads, but at some point they're like, enough is enough.
Yep.
I want to spray something on which will make the drying process safer. I want to get it shiny and protected. And so at this point, you wouldn't just dry unless you were going just to polish.
Right.
Because if you dried without any kind of drying lubricant, that's that's where you could get a scratch risk, right? Water is a solvent. It's not a lubricant. So we want something on here between our drying towel and the paint.
Yeah, also, with the water just sitting on the surface like this, it makes it difficult to dry. We're in a controlled environment, meaning we can spray the envy on, not have to carry the bottle in our hands, and then dry the vehicle. Plus, especially on the hood here where the water is just pooling, spraying a little bit of envy on and letting it work, it's actually gonna break down that pool of water into nice little droplets.
If you were in direct sunlight, I probably wouldn't have done this method anyway with all that dwell time and all that foaming. If I'm gonna foam a car in direct sunlight, I'm gonna do it with great discernment, probably one side of the vehicle and rinse it off. And anyway, we've talked about this many times, but the sun's a powerful thing. But if I were in direct sunlight and I was just trying to dry quickly, instead of what Ivan's doing, maybe a couple sprays there on the panel, and I'll just go ahead and dry. But I like what you're saying, where you're gonna let it kind of dwell and work. Right. Is that gonna make it more lubricated, or what's the benefit there?
No, it's gonna make the drying easier. If you look at my side of the hood, Nick, it's already beating up and I haven't touched it yet.
Yeah, okay, all right, I'm in.
I'm using a little more envy than normal because of all the pooling on the surface. I wanted to take the time to grab that moisture, lift it off the surface, and make it easier to dry.
People love to spray Envy ceramic detail spray on the towel and not on the paint. And you've often said spraying on the towel is just kind of a waste. Now on the interior you say never spray on the surface, always spray on the towel. Right. But on the exterior you say never spray on the towel, always spray on the surface. I mean, break it down for me, Ivan.
Well, spraying on the surface, on the inside, you have risks. Spraying on the outside, you don't want to put it on your towel, because if you put it on your towel, you're actually just clogging up your towel.
Ivan, the drying blanket is not just any drying towel. It's a micro twist loop sensation from South Korea.
Yes, and it makes drying so easy, effortless, and fun, because it just works.
People love this towel, Ivan. I talked about how this can be a scratch risk part of the detail. How are we mitigating against scratch risk right now?
Well, we use the Envy ceramic detail spray as a lubricant, and we're using a high quality Korean microfiber towel. It's designed not to scratch your paint. It's not gonna snag emblems, things like that. We promised you deep dive nooks and crannies, but we're also gonna dry the door jambs here. So, a couple little sprays of Envy, and dry down your door jambs. Now you're gonna have slick, clean, glossy, protected door jambs, making it much easier to clean the next time. As an enthusiast, are these areas important to you? Are these areas that you keep meticulously clean? Or, I don't really care? Let us know down in the comments. How about you, Nick?
I think cleaning door jambs and areas that not other people are gonna see, it's a love letter to yourself. It's just telling yourself that you care about the things that other people aren't gonna see, but that matter. You know? What are you doing when no one's watching? Are you just doing what people can see for appearances, or are you taking care of the intricacies of your life? Because the small things are the big things. So there's a lot of symbolism. There's a lot you can get waxing philosophical here with detailing. I think detailing and life are really similar in a lot of ways. And you asked me, and whether you wanted that answer or not, that's how I feel, Ivan.
Excellent. Your door jambs all done?
Well, whether I did them or not is another story, but I like to talk about it now. Door jambs are done.
Okay.
I'm just taking care of the trunk here. But,
yeah.
All right, Ivan, I brought you a gift.
Yeah. We'll just blow the excess moisture out of the engine bay here.
Ivan, one of my favorite things to do is to put tire lotion on an engine bay. I know, we could use Quick Beads.
Yes.
We could use Envy ceramic sealant. But if you're trying to sell your vehicle or you have a show, talk about what tire dressing does for the appearance. You know automotive culture better than I.
It just gives it a nice, fresh, clean look. It's simple, it's easy to do. So let me get this hood here so it stops dripping on us. And it's not greasy. That's the important part of it. You don't want a greasy slimy engine bay. You just want it nice and clean and fresh.
Boy, I mean, did we even agitate in here? Or did we
No.
we just used a chemical and sprayed.
Yep.
It's so clean. So I'm gonna do a few sprays of DIY Detail tire lotion. And anything plastic I can pretty much apply it to.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Ivan?
Excellent. Keep going. Don't miss a spot. Because if you miss a spot, you'll notice it.
Anything I can't get this on?
Yourself. Ideally.
Ivan, we could knock that down with a towel. We could just let it air dry.
Yeah.
It just depends on your goal for this. If you're taking it to a show, let it air dry and then meticulously detail as desired. If you're selling it, you could shoot it from 10 feet away and it would look really glossy. If it's just for you, decide what works for you. This looks super clean, protected and rich to me, and I'd be happy with this for sure.
Right. But if you want to see a really deep dive into engine cleaning, we have a video for you right about there.